Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to today's video. And for those of you that are new, welcome. And if you are new, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any time that I'm post. And if you haven't figured already, I'm Maya, this is my channel. For today's video, I decided that I wanted to do a makeup look inspired look. And the person I was kind of inspired by was Madison Beer when she performed with, I really can't remember their names and I don't want to butcher them. She performed with a few other girls, I believe 3 other girls. They performed under the name KDA or something. I'm not entirely sure, so don't come at me. But she performed with a bunch of girls for League of Legends, I think. It was like this big release for the game or something like that. I don't know all the details, but performed, and she wore this outfit, so it's quite similar to what I wore, if you can see it right here. She had fishnets, this black skirt, I don't know if you can honestly see it, I don't know. Black skirt, this really big pink sweater, and it's like ripped up and cut up and everything like that. Hair was straight. She had some gems in her hair part, and then fishnets and the whole 9. So I decided to recreate the outfit because I really liked it, but I wanted to do a makeup look inspired. But I have a few other photos too. Madison Beer typically tends to do very natural, neutral looks, nothing outrageous, no crazy contour or anything like that. So it all just looks like this, pretty simple, but she does have it kind of wispy and kind of pull out on the sides, but nonetheless very natural. Now, I'm not saying I look like her, I'm not trying to look like her, just an inspired makeup look is what we're kind of going for. But I did like the outfit, so I figured I would wear it, which is just the sweater. I'm wearing shorts. But I found this sweater, and I cut it all up, so it's like ripped up in the back and everything, and the sleeves are very oversized, so very big. And I think it's like an XL or something like that, but I wanted it to be very oversized like hers was. So it looks like this. And then I have a couple tops that I kind of switch out and alternate, which are black. One has more detail, but in the actual photo, I can see that she's wearing a dress. It looks like a skirt, but I got a skirt, put some safety pins in it, cut it up, and made it look like it was a dress. But nonetheless, I'm gonna clip my hair back right here so it's not in the way, and then we're gonna jump into the video. Okay, so I have like a zillion things in front of me. My eyes are pink, by the way, because I used the Jeffree Star palette, and those pigments stained, obviously. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna prime, so I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer here and my little beauty sponge, and everything I use I'm just gonna put in the description box like always, so if I don't mention it, it'll be down below in the description box, but I will do the best that I can. So I'm just going to apply this all over the face. Alright, so now that I've got my primer all over the face, I'm just going to use my Maybelline Superstay Foundation here, which is full coverage foundation. I'm in the shade 128 for those of you that care to know. So I just pumped it a little bit on my beauty blender, and then I'm just going to apply it on the face. Seeing as Madison Beer typically wears makeup that's like natural, simple, pretty much an everyday look, nothing crazy, no glitter, cut creases kind of type thing. We're just going to focus mainly on the complexion. And for the sake of my eyes being pink, I'm going to lightly go over them with foundation, but you don't have to. Alright, now that I have foundation applied, I still look a little silly, so I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm in the shade Light Sand, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes and buff that out. Okay, now that I've applied concealer and foundation, I'm going to take my Maybelline Loose Fit Me powder here. I'm just going to set everything on the face. Now that we've set the face, we're going to dive into bronzers. I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in Rich Amber here, and I'm going to apply that to all the places I just need a little bit more warmth to, because this will definitely just flatten you out. I'm just going to take my magnetic Sephora brush right here and just bronze the face. Alright, so I'm actually going to take my Marc Jacobs powder, my powder bronzer, it's the Omega Bronze. I'm going to take this and buff around just to soften the bronzer I put on. Sometimes I mix the two together in general, and all my flyaways are coming out of nowhere, which is making me mad. All right, now that we've bronzed the face, I'm gonna dive into blush. I'm gonna take my Kylie Cosmetics, We're Going Shopping blush right here, just in the single pan, and apply that where I need some blush, and then just mix it with your bronzer that you've already placed. Now that the face is blushed up, I'm gonna go into my Hourglass Ambient Light Powder in Luminous Light right here. This is just gonna soften the blush a little bit, but it also adds a little bit of a natural highlight to the face. And it's also one of my favorite tricks for highlighting if I don't want to have a highlighter on, or if I want to intensify it a little bit, or in the areas that I would like some highlight, but I don't want to put like an actual full-blown bright highlighter. This will give it a little bit of glow and catch the light. So now that I've done that, we're gonna jump into brows, but I'm gonna do my brows off camera because that takes literally forever. And if you really want to see me do my brows, I can just do a video about it. So just comment below if you really want to see that. But I will be right back. Keep grabbing stuff. I will be right back and do with my brows finished. All right, so my brows are done, and I've already primed my eyes because I shaped out the under part of my brows, so I figured I would just prime them. So go ahead and prime your eyes. So I think for the look though, for Madison, since she keeps it pretty natural and simple, nothing crazy, you know, nothing loud colors, and in the look for the performance, it was pretty simple, just like her every day to day. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced Peach palette right here, and I'm gonna dive into the shade White Peach, which is on the top left part right here on the bottom, and I'm just gonna place that all over the lid. And if anybody asks, my P. Louise base here all over the eye, and you typically don't have to set that, but for this I just feel like I want to. And before I forget, I used my JH30 brush just to do that, so a big fluffy brush here. And then I'm gonna take my Morphe 330 brush right here, and I'm gonna dive into the shade, I think it's called Pure, right here on the bottom, and I'm just gonna work that all the way in the crease as our nice base transition shade. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, and keeping in mind, Madison Beer, as well as myself, has very hooded eyes, and she doesn't really have too much of a defined crease, but I like a little bit of color in there so that my eyes don't look so flat. But I'm going to keep a lot of the color concentrated on the ends because I want to try to make it look like I have an elongated eye, like how she does with her winged liner. So next I'm going to take the shade Charmed, I'm Sure, which is this kind of just soft gray shade right here. I'm going to take my Morphe 321 brush right here, just this tight packer brush kind of. Well, it's like a bullet brush. And then I'm going to take the shade Charmed, I'm Sure, which is the in the top part of the palette, this gray shade right here, just to concentrate a little bit more color on the ends of my eyes. Because then we're going to put a little bit of liner there, and I want it to almost look like I already got a liner working. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm gonna actually take my finger and I'm gonna take the shade Nectar and I'm gonna apply it right on the center part of my lid. So then I'm gonna go ahead and take that same brush, my Morphe 330 brush, and with no pigment on the brush, I'm just gonna kind of buff out the edges a little bit here. And then I'm gonna take my Chanel Defining Groomer brush right here. It has this flat edge and it has a spoolie on the other end, but I just need this side. I've already wet the brush tip, and then I'm gonna go into my Chanel Black Gel Liner. Comes in that little pot just like this, and I'm gonna take just a little bit on the brush, and I'm gonna tight line with this towards the outer part of my eye, just like you'd create a wing. Keep it pretty tight. And when you're gonna do the wing, you're gonna keep it quite low, so where your eye opens, and just flick it out that way and keep it pretty close and tight to the eye. And then taking the same brush and the same gel liner, we're gonna tight line the bottom part of our eyes. And you can just take it very softly. Not need to be heavy. Just like that. So I'm going to apply before I do the other eye, which I'll do off camera because that took forever, I'm going to take my Honest Beauty mascara. I'm going to use the primer on the one side and the mascara on the other really quick. And I will do the other eye off camera. I've actually really been getting into mascara primer ever since I started using the Honest Beauty mascara. Alright, so I've tucked mascara to the top and bottom part of my lash. And then I'm going to quickly do my wing and my mascara off camera for the other eye, and then we will come back to complete the face. Okay, I did the other eye off camera, so I believe what is next is the lashes, which are optional because it doesn't seem like she wears lashes for the most part. But I'm going to apply some little wispy ones to the ends, and I think it'll give it a little something. Just these like little end ones. I'm just going to apply those really quick. Just pop those on, and then I'm thinking highlight, setting, and then we just have to worry about the lip to complete the look. Alright, so now that lashes are on and the other eye is completed, I'm just going to take my Jeffree Star Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. That sounded like a lot of words. I'm just going to set the face. Since Madison Beer doesn't typically wear too intensive highlight or makeup, I'm just going to do this very lightly. So you could easily stop at the Hourglass Ambient Light Powder just on the cheeks, but I just want to amp it up just a bit. So I'm going to take the Hyper Real Glow Highlighting Trio by MAC. It's one I typically always use. And I'm going to take my shade right here in the center, and I'm going to apply that everywhere that I just want a little bit of highlight. So I'm going to take it to the center of my nose, the tip of my nose just a bit, and the lips. And take just a touch to the cheek. So like that's more than enough. Just a touch. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush here, which is my JH42, and I'm going to take just a little bit of this first shade in the highlighting trio and apply it to the inner corners of my eyes just to bring a little bit more light to it. And of course, just underneath the brow, really just catches the light and makes your eyes pop just a bit more, especially since she's on stage and she's performing. It definitely catches the light and brings more attention to your face. So now that highlighting is done, we're gonna take care of the lips next. I'm gonna take my MAC lip liner in Oak, and I'm gonna line my lips ever so slightly. All right, now that I've lined my lips, I'm gonna take my Duo lip thing right here, and I'm just gonna take the lip portion of it. This is in Tender Beige, so I'm just gonna apply this all over the lip. I'm going to take the other side with just a gloss and apply a little bit on top just to give it a little something extra. I've actually really been loving this lip. And then last but not least, I'm going to take my setting spray. Alright guys, this is the final look, the Madison Beer KD8 inspired makeup look. Now my hair is already naturally straight and I just went over it to kind of smooth it out. But this is the final look, guys. And like I said, you don't, like I've said before, I should say, you don't need any of these products that I've used to recreate this look. You can use the stuff that you have at home, or you can find dupes, similar stuff. You don't need everything, obviously. But nonetheless, you still want whatever makeup look that you're doing to still be you. You're not trying to be someone else. You're still trying to be you, but inspired. I guess, if that makes any sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I had so much fun coming up with this look and actually creating my little outfit because I saw the performance and I loved it. I loved the outfit. I have the tights that I found similar tights, skirt, the whole nine. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.